Hello, it's November. We need to start working on an activity called color coding. We have no idea what that is, so let me show you. The story we're going to work with is Red 12. It's called Capture. The slave gator runs away, and the ending is kind of gruesome. So, nice, cheerful story. I'm going to copy down a line from the story, the opening line. Davus est solicitus. Nam necessa est gatam invain ira. Invain ira. I want to put some colors on these words. Now you might be thinking, Mr. Darden, what are you talking about? Hey, it's easy. I have a color key. If I see a verb, I'm going to put the color yellow on it. Mr. Darden, how do I know if I'm looking at a verb? Well, one way you can tell you're looking at a verb is, let's make a text box right here. I'm looking at a verb if I have one of these 6 endings on the back of the word. O, S, T. You recognize these. These are my personal endings that I use when I conjugate. M-U-S, T-I-S, and N-T. If you see any of these endings on the back of the word, on the back of a word, you're probably looking at a verb. All right, these are my verb personal endings. In fact, let me slide them down a little bit. These are my personal endings, and they can only go on the back of verbs. Personal endings. All right? So one reason well, let me start over. I'm going to use those endings to help me find some verbs. Let's go. There are 3 yellows in this first sentence. Which words end in O, S, T, M, U, S? You get me. There are 3. Where's the first one? That's right, EST. It ends in a T. Therefore, it is a verb. Same thing with est. It is a verb. Uh-oh. Do you see an infinitive in this sentence? What 2 letters are on the back of an infinitive? That's right, RE. So RE is an infinitive ending, and infinitives are verbs, so I'm putting yellow on that. And in fact, I just want to remind myself that's an infinitive, so I tell my students when you see an infinitive, when you're doing a color coding assignment, write INF over it, just like that. What else we got in this sentence? Hey, we got orange words, second declension nouns, and we got blue words, first declension nouns. You see any orange words in this sentence? Yeah, Davus. Davus is an orange word. So I'm going to come over here, find some orange color, and put Davus in orange. Do you see a blue word, a first declension noun? Yeah, I see one. Where? Gata is correct. Put blue on Gata. Let's talk about why. I'll tell you how I know Gata is blue. It's got that AM on the back right there. And I know from my blue chart, now get ready, this is going to take me a minute to do this, but I've got a first declension chart. You know, words like puella are first declension nouns. Well, what endings do they take? Well, I know that one of the endings in this box, you know, the first ending is A, the second ending is AE, your declension endings. I know that one of those endings is AM. These are all blue endings. I know that because I know my declensions. So when I saw Gatam over here with the AM on the back, AM right here, AM up here, yep, that's a blue word. Is there anything else I can look at in this sentence to color code? I got one last thing I want you to do for me. If a word is an adjective, I want you to underline it. Okay, watch this. I'm going to underline solicitus, just like that. Underline, and I'm going to bold it just to make sure it stands out. This is, whoops, my box over here got moved. There you go. Solicitus is an adjective. How do I know? Because when I look solicitus up in the dictionary, it looks like this. If I go to the back of the book and look in the dictionary for solicitus, it looks like this. S-O-L-L-I-C-I-T-U-S, comma A, comma U-M. Now, this is the first time we've talked about this, probably. Anytime a word in the dictionary ends in US followed by an A followed by UM, that's an adjective. What do we do to adjectives? We underline them. Adjectives are underlined when I'm doing color coding. So what have we done so far in this sentence? Well, we identified the yellows. We know verbs are yellow. The next thing we did was we identified orange nouns. We identified second declension nouns. Second declension masculine nouns. I threw in the word masculine. I don't know if I confused you or not with that. They get the color orange. Let's put orange on this. Okay. And we found out that first declension nouns, like puella, first declension nouns, they're blue. And yeah, I know I just made it orange, so let me fix that. First declension nouns, let's make that a neutral color right there. First declension nouns are blue, just like that. Hey, we just color-coded a sentence using some basic information. Mr. Darden, you didn't put color on everything. No, I didn't. NAM is trash in this sentence, and so is Nekesa. I'm not going to worry about it. Just throw those two words away. All right, let's scoot on down here. I'm going to keep my boxes. And I'm going to try to figure out how to get below this box right here so that we can do yet another sentence. So let me scoot down here. Yeah, there we go. All right, let me do the next sentence. Here's the next one. Ubi servi effugiunt, comma, domini, saipe vilicos reprehendunt. I can't even spell it. Reprehendunt. All right, that's the next sentence in story 12. So the first thing I want to do is go find my verb and put yellow on it. Can you find the action words in this sentence? There are two. Use your knowledge of personal endings to figure out where the verbs are. So where's yellow going? That's right, on effugiunt, which ends in an NT, bam, and reprehendunt, which ends in an NT. Boom. Next, what other colors can I find here? Do I have any blue words, any first declension nouns like puella? Well, I know first declension's got these blue A's in them. I know that from my declension. I know my 10 declensional endings. Heck, let's just put them up here now. We're already there. Third one is AE. The fourth one is AM. Let's scoot this sentence down a little bit. Let's go to the box a little bit. Let's try to move the box down some. AM. I'm going to move that sucker up one notch. And I'm going to put A down here. Now this A has a hat on it, but by the time I go find my symbols and put the long mark over that A, we'll be here all day. So I'm not going to do that. Come on up here. Let's put the plural. Hyphen AE. Hyphen ARUM. All right, that didn't work. Let's widen the box. Learn as we go. And come over here and tab it out. Tab it out. I know my next ending is IS. My next one is AS. My last one is tab it out, IS. All right, I went through all that to try to determine the following. Do I see any of those endings in the sentence that I'm working on right now? And the answer is, heck no, I don't see any of that stuff. I don't see any of these first declension endings. So I don't think any of these words are blue. I don't think any of them are blue. What about orange? Yeah, okay, I could see some of these words maybe being orange. For one thing, I know my flashcards, and I know servi is the word slave. And I know from my flashcards, from my dictionary, that servus looks like this. And I know that any noun that looks like that is orange or second declension. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to change this word servi right here to orange. I know that's a second declension noun. Do I see any more second declension nouns? Now let me just go ahead and make this easy on you. You're supposed to know some of these blue endings in the first declension. You know there's a second declension that belongs to words like this, amicus, amici, because we did this on YouTube. All right, we showed you how to decline a second declension now. What are some of the endings in the second declension? Well, US. But another ending in the second declension is I. And I also, did I make a box for that? Not yet, huh? Let me start over real quick. Let me get a text box. Now I'm in business. Some of my second declension endings look like this: a US, or an I, or an O. Now the only reason we know this is we've done some declensions, and I showed you how to do this on YouTube. I showed you what the 10 endings were for a second declension now. The point is, none of these endings help me a lot, but wait a minute, I see I right here, and I know this is the orange declension, second declension. So this I right here on the back of Cervi is orange and Domini. Yeah, that's orange too, because of the I ending. Now I got Wheelie Coast right here with an OS on the back. Let me calm that U down and make it lowercase. Is there an OS in this orange family? You betcha. Right down here on the fourth line, right over here. It lives in plural land on the other side of the chart. Just like that. So when you're doing, not 0S, OS. When you're doing color coding, it helps if you have your notebook out with your 2 declensions visible, where you wrote your endings down, your 2 cards. Anyway, the OS right here is telling me, yeah, I belong to the second declension or orange family. So there you go. There's another sentence successfully color-coded. So here's what I want you to do. Go to the last, let's do these lines. Let's do Cornelius est Dominus bonus. I'm just continuing to write the sentences out from story 12 on page 89. This is page 89. Said, ubi Cornelius iratus est, hyphen, color code that line for me, and color code this next line, servos. This is line 4 actually from the story. Servos igitur davos in auream statim convocat et rogat ubi est geta. Ubi est geta? Question mark.
Ashlyn Woodland, your ride is here.
Give you one more. The next line says, Nemo respondera potest. Nemo respondera, I can't spell, respondera potest. All right. The directions. Let's put the directions in a box because that might make things a little easier. So here are the directions. Color code. Number 1, put yellow on the verbs. 2, put blue on first declension. First declension, I'm going to have to expand the box completely because I ran out of space here. On first declension nouns. 3, put orange on second declension nouns. And lastly, don't forget to underline adjectives. If you don't know where the adjectives are, you may have to look at words that might possibly be adjectives and go look them up in the dictionary to see if the pattern, to see if they follow the adjective pattern. I'll tell you one more time. If you're not sure if a word is an adjective,